I'm Dr. Jason J. Campbell, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. In this video, I'm continuing my ongoing analysis into advanced theories in political philosophy. I took a week off because I couldn't get internet connection, and not being able to get internet connection, it doesn't make sense to me coming to the office shooting videos because I already know this stuff. I got my internet connection back. I uploaded like about an hour and change worth of test videos to YouTube to make sure that it can sustain the amount of data that I'm going to be putting up into cyberspace, because it doesn't make sense to me shooting any videos if none of this can be uploaded. So what I'm going to do, I know I said I was going to do 2 hours worth of video and then I would cycle to the next. I'm supposed to be going either to meta theory or back to epistemology, but because I lost a week, I'm going to do 3 hours of political theory. So I already have an hour done. This section 1.1, will mark another hour, and then the next section 2, will mark yet another hour. So I'm going to do 3 hours of advanced political theory before I cycle to the next, and then we'll have to wait 4 to 6 hours before I get back to political theory again. Again, the reason why I'm doing that is because, you know, I lost a week in not being able to upload, and, you know, for me, time isn't really money, because I'm not a rich man. But time is definitely knowledge, right? And the ability to disseminate it. If I lose time via internet, then you guys lose out, right? So it's another good thing. I'm going to be continuing my analysis today of section 1.1 as I did before, right? This is Harold J. Laski's quote, "The foundation of sovereignty, studies in problems of sovereignty," right? So both excerpts from the text, right? The foundations of sovereignty and studies in problems of sovereignty. And I'm going to review some of the concepts that I introduced before. Again, if you're at this point in the video, then you've already heard the disclaimer. I got pretty good feedback from the community. I don't think it's very many people watching this series, which for me is perfect. I might have a handful of people that are watching it, but for those who are watching it, the feedback that I've gotten from them is that it's not too, I mean, it's advanced, but it's not too complex. They can understand it, which means I'm talking in scare quotes with peers. This series isn't an introduction to political theory. This series is advanced and for advanced thinkers. In terms of you should know, you should know political theory sufficiently. Not necessarily at the expert level, but you need to understand, because I'm not going to qualify a lot of the terms and the concepts, because this discourse is for the world. But as I said, after I upload this, I'm always writing, I'm always thinking. I look back based on the comments that I've received, based on the interactions that I get from people, and watch myself and learn in a very bizarre way for myself again, right? So I want to make sure that this particular series is very, very dense. Hopefully, again, I don't lose internet connection, because this would just freaking drive me crazy, and get the material up. So with that, enough chit chat. Back to work. Okay, so this is advanced theories in political philosophy. And I don't have my actual first page here, so I might have titled it something different, but, you know, that's the basic title. This is section 1.1 of my notes. As you guys know, in order to get my notes, just click the link in the description field. It'll take you to the PDF, download the PDF, use it to supplement your readings and the notes that I've provided. You know, you can put your own comments in the margins, create another document, and it'll help facilitate your learning. Again, all of my lectures, all of the hundreds of hours of lectures, is a supplement to your own education. Obviously, only nerds watch this stuff, right? This isn't necessarily entertainment. And a supplement to the primary reading itself, right? So make sure you do the reading, make sure you do your own thinking, your own analysis, and then use my lectures to supplement the stuff that you already know. It'll trigger ideas in you that you didn't think of before, and you can process the information to your advantage. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's begin with a quote from page 436 from the text. Unfortunately, because I'm not on my A game today, I forgot the text, so I can't flash the text, but I flashed it the first day. So make sure you have the text. Quote, "Whatever theory may say, an analysis of the modern state reveals it as a complex of interests. Remember, I introduced this idea of a complex of interests earlier, right, in section 1.0. It is a complex of interests between which there is no necessary or even predominant harmony. So the first point is that there is no harmony within the complex of interests, and I really love that phrase, the complex of interest. Complex in terms, in both senses, right? Complex in terms of sort of the edifice, right? The building, the structure. A complex of interests, so that interests inhere within the edifice, right? And also complex of interest in terms of complicated interests, difficult intertwined nexus, difficult affiliations, a complex of interest, right? So a complex of interest between which there is no necessary or even predominant harmony. The political philosopher is concerned with the balance of interests, right? This is a direct quote. As a political, I consider myself a socio-political philosopher by profession, by my area, AOS, my area of specialization is socio-political philosophy. For me, and this is going to be my interpretation, other political theorists, other political scientists will have their interpretations of what it is that they envision as the macro level job function that they facilitate. For me, I really accord with the idea of attempting to balance the inherent, if you will, disharmony within this complex of interests. The idea is this, and I'll start very simply before, well, not very simply, there really is no ghetto philosophy in this, but this will be an introduction, but it'll be a rather complex intro. The idea is this, right? You have a sense in which the state, as a functioning mechanism of organized bureaucracy, right? The state as a functioning mechanism of organized bureaucracy attempts to control and maneuver between the various social demands that the population expects from the bureaucracy, right? There's a certain set of demands that the population might expect, be it healthcare, be it protection, be it education, be it social reform, be it recognition, blah, 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 blah. And these demands, right, so that we have sort of the populace here, we have the organized bureaucracy here as state. The organized bureaucracy as state is itself represented by segments of the population, right? And I talked about this a little bit earlier as well, right? So that segments, some particular segments of the population, will say this dude and this chick are in the state to various aspects, right? So that some segments of the population are represented within the state. What ends up happening, and this is rather obvious, is that the social stratification, in whatever sense you want to talk about social stratification, be it socioeconomic, be it educational, be it income, be it you know, whatever, opportunity, the social stratification that exists within our social strata manifests necessarily within our political bureaucracy, so that we cannot transpose, we cannot negate the transposition between our social stratification and the manifest stratification which inheres within the bureaucracy, right? The bureaucracy complex in the terms of building, right? Complex, that was the worst quotes ever. Complex in terms of building houses the social stratification that inheres within the populace, right? Again, and I feel comfortable talking in this terms and at this rate and with all this technical, and this is the beginning, right? This is not the ghetto version, but this is the intro to more complex stuff. Because the feedback that I got from people was that you guys were following me, so I'm comfortable in this sort of rather advanced vernacular. The idea is that social stratification is inherently transposed within the bureaucratic organization that is the state, right? Those social stratifications within society that benefit individuals within society, why would it be the case that we think that it doesn't manifest within the state? Of course it manifests within the state, because the state is representing, right? This would be the process of representation, at least